Hello everyone, welcome to yet another video, and must I say, for the Emperor! For we are going to be taking a dip into the Warhammer 40k universe with Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. Now this, amongst another game that you'll be seeing in a couple of weeks' time, I have recently fallen in love with. I've been tempted to go ahead and try out one of these Space RCSs for ages, and I have to say, I am definitely not disappointed. So, what I'm going to do for this, unlike usual, rather than pick the first mission, I'm going to put on a skirmish just to get a bit of an idea on, well, the scale of the sort of conflicts that you can get in this. So starting off then, we're going to go ahead and lay out our starting positions. You go ahead and do this before the battle, decide where you want everything. Before you know, you start smashing things with big ships. But, for a bit of context here, this is a Warhammer 40k game. If you don't know what Warhammer 40k is, I suggest you look it up, because honestly, I am still pretty new to it and I could never even hope to do it justice, but it's a wonderful universe. I absolutely love it. And, well, I'm still getting into it, but even still, great game, check it out. And, you know, I'm going to leave a description for this, because even if you're not that much into Warhammer, just the way this game's combat mechanics are, and, you know, just how scenic it can be, you just have to try it out to see it. Anyway, so that's me chatting through it, getting ready, and the match started. So I do believe that in this one we are fighting the Tau. Now the Tau in Warhammer 40k are really good at range, and well, we're not so good at range. So what my plan is essentially get everybody up close and personal as soon as. We've got it set up so it's in 3 sort of squadrons, to at least try and not get people killed as quickly. But things are going to take a while. So set everybody up, getting them ready to engage. Go ahead and launch that little probe there, that'll go ahead and give us some information on what's going on. And, of course, send in the fighter bombers. A bit later on, things are getting close. We're about to finally engage the enemy in hand-to-hand combat. Well, as hand-to-hand it can be, in several kilometre long warships. And just before we do run into them, let's go for a full frontal assault. Okay, so we got the enemy sighted. Now, my plan for this is we're going to basically target all of their major vessels first. And when we do target a major vessel, it will be all ships firing on that major vessel. Focus firing, taking down their enemy ships one by one. There is a bit of an issue though. My little escort destroyers, they aren't very tough, and they are taking an absolute mincing from the enemy ships, because they're still at a fair bit of range and use basically all their much more deadly weapons on them. As you can see by the factor of how many are dying in the bottom right corner. Each one of those icons on the left, that's a ship. And each one of the small ones is one of the escorts, and you can sort of see them just being picked off, like fish in a barrel. To be fair though, they were really just a big shield for the much larger vessels, which are finally getting here now. Okay, so, sit rep. We're closer. We're still not close enough to be at 100% efficiency for what we want to be doing, but we're close enough that we can actually start making a difference in the battle now. Now, I know this probably isn't the best tactic, as like I said, I'm still very new to the universe. I'm not particularly 100% sure on who's best at what, particularly how to go ahead and play the Imperial Navy in this, but my general plan is simply get all the main ships with big guns, such as their macro turrets or whatever they're called. I am so gonna get minced by the community for this. But you know, get all the big guns firing on the same target, and also, because we're getting up nice and close and personal, we can also start doing boarding actions. So these 4 there, or 3, yeah, 3, are all going to start dropping people on there. Go ahead and disrupt everything. They're trying to disengage, but they're not going to be able to. They're going to die before they do. You can see that we've got a lot of mutinies and things going wrong. That's not great. Okay, so that's one enemy ship down for quite a lot more of ours, but the difference is now they're dealing with all of our capital ships, and unlike all the little destroyers and frigates that they've just been dealing with, our capital ships, they're rather beefy, and whilst their shields may still be down, they're still pretty damn tanky, and there's a lot of them, and they're at point blank range. As you can see over and over again, we are essentially just pummeling the enemy now with extreme close range fire, not to mention doing boarding action wherever possible. But yes, this is one of the two games I've recently thought of. Seriously, I've been pouring too much time into games like this lately. The other one that I'm playing right now is, I think it's called Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. I don't actually play it for that. I've always wanted to play it simply because I know there's a Halo conversion mod for it. Yeah, I totally haven't managed to go ahead and waste half of my time since getting it playing it. Seriously, it's a brilliant game. Once I go ahead and put a video up, I will leave a link because you guys really should check it out. But anyway, things aren't looking great. Our fleet has become disorganised, our nice spearhead has now become, well, more of a spaghetti pasta that's tangled up really badly and dried up. So we're going to go ahead and skip forwards here a little bit to when things are a little bit more in our favour, once the fleet has at least recollected itself, if not fully reorganised. There's still quite a few enemy ships here and there. A lot of larger ships coming back, and it appears that a lot of their either light or just standard line cruisers are being destroyed. Their battle cruisers, grand cruisers, and even bigger, they're currently still pretty solid. Let's see, Allied Grand. Oh, we've lost a grand cruiser. That's not good. Yeah, you can see that a lot of ours are absolutely bricking it right now. Now, the other thing that we can potentially do, if worse comes to worse, is we can do a ram. Because a lot of our ships, they've got big fancy rams on them, and yes, this is the kind of game where ramming is a legitimate strategy. Oh god. Right. Let's see. Okay, so that one's nearly down there. Go ahead and finish him off. And then we'll have to see what we can do, considering that a lot of our crews are also trying to get the hell out of here because they don't trust me or something. I mean, it's not like we're losing masses of our troops or anything, right? I say troops. You just have spaceships. I like spaceships, they're cool. Okay, and that's another one bites the dust. Excuse the drop frames at 10. Turns out once you're running this at 4K, it can become quite a taxing game. Looks pretty though. Oh well, hopefully once I've got my new CPU and that lot later on in the year, these games will be running so much faster and smoother. And oh, he's not going to have a good time in about 5 seconds. Big torpedo volley, yeah, he stuck out a few of them, but still a lot of them got through. See, this is the other thing that I love about these Imperial ships, is that when you get it just right, you can basically rake the enemy with huge volleys of torpedoes. Like that one there, absolutely decimated that ship. Yep, and it's down. Okay, it looks like, I mean, it does look like a pretty bad situation for us, but currently most of our ships are sort of in that group there, and we are still focusing fire. Whereas you can see the enemy there, they're actually, well, firing across all of our ships rather than focusing like they should. Ugh, excuse my yawn. But yeah, you can see the enemies, well, they're still dispersing their fire. If they focused it on us, they'd probably be, well, having a much better time than they are. Take out this ship here, considering it's literally right on our doorstep and it's nearly dead. Okay. That's an enemy battleship down. Enemy cruiser. It looks like they've still got a few probably ground cruisers or something like that. And maybe a battleship hiding somewhere. But it is looking up. board these enemy ships that think they can get away from us. There we go, that's the way it should be. All ships in a line, firing with everything they've got, because a lot of our capital ships, well, most of their main armament is glued to the side rather than in a super firing turret. Whilst that's not always ideal, it does mean that, well, having a spearhead suddenly becomes a lot, well, suddenly a lot more reasonable as an idea. Okay, there's still a few enemies there. And if I'm not mistaken, there is in fact an enemy battleship hiding in one of the clouds. Yeah, you see those big nebulas that are sitting around the place. I'm pretty sure there's still 1 or 2 full health battleships. But we'll have to deal with that in a bit. For now, we need to finish off them, take care of the main bulk of the enemy's fleet, and then we can start moving forwards. So we're using our Imperator, or how the hell you say it, battleships, getting up nice close and personal, raking the enemy with huge swaths of just lance shells, macro shells, stuff like that, good stuff, putting holes in the side of them, and slowly dealing with them. And okay, that's took out half his shield. I'll make it a bit easier for these next volleys to take care of him. He's made a bit of a mistake getting that close. Okay, and full speed. Ooh, that must have caused a bit of damage on him. Yeah, he's not going to survive that. He's really not going to survive that. There it is. There's the enemy battleship that I knew I saw earlier. Oh boy, things are not looking good for that. What was that? A little light cruiser up ahead. Ooh, they must be having a bad time with that. Gonna try and fire off whatever torpedoes they might have before it goes down. And damn, just barely missed him. Things are getting pretty uncomfortable for them now. We have got our Overon battleship sitting right on top of them, readying with all of its might. You can see the huge guns sitting on the side of it ready. They ain't going to be having much fun in a few seconds. Not only that, we've also got a Grand Cruiser or a normal cruiser sitting on its rear. Well, basically just firing at it from all angles right now. It currently has got nowhere to go. But anyway, that was that. So if you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike it, leave a dislike. Any thoughts or questions, leave them in the form of a comment below. Don't forget to check out my Patreon down in the description below. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more from me, the 117th Con. This has been the 117th Con. As always, signing off. Have a brilliant day, folks, and I'll catch you next time. And what do you know? A victory to boot.